So, hi everybody. First of all, thank you for inviting me in the British Chamber of Commerce and Industry. It's been an honor. My name is Mayukh Chakrabordy. I graduated from EdHec Business School this year, and now I'm working on my project, which is called Lil'Genie. But today, I will not be pitching you about my own personal project, but I will be talking about on a broader topic which relates to STEM education, because my project in my project I am building kits that can help parents and teachers give STEM lessons to children above the age group of 10. So so
Science, technology, engineering.
right. So before talking about STEM education, let's focus. Let's go back and focus on the education in general. Over this, as we entered from the 20th century to 21st century, we saw some drastic shift in education. So most of the people who are my age, like I was born in 1994 and I come from India, so I assume that people in the OECD country like America and Europe, Western Europe especially, they are at least 5 or 6 years ahead of us in the technology adoption. So somebody who is probably 6 to 8 years older than me in America or Europe, they had almost similar childhood like mine. So the first method is traditional method. My childhood, at least most of my childhood, was like that: going to school, taking lessons, coming back home, doing homework, and repeat in a traditional brick and mortar system where we go. And I think most of you are also had a similar childhood, a very traditional education. But then by the late 90s or early 20s, there was the birth of edtech happened when schools, like I remember during my time, our school had built the first resource room. We had projection, and then we had computer labs set up. So computer was introduced in school. Our public institutions adopted it slowly, but the private institutions did it very fast. And then in the mid or late 2000s came the power of internet. The education, most educational institutes or private individuals started to leverage the power of internet. You might have remembered the Khan Academy. It became very very popular now with the help of internet. Somebody in an engineering school in Africa can also see for free the lectures of the professors in MIT or Stanford and Harvard. So probably this is one of the most powerful use cases of internet of our times, that internet really democratized the education the way it was never done before. So for example, in my country where I come from, in many schools and colleges there are lack of teachers who have certain skills and scientific knowledge to teach particular subject. So we used to watch for free the lectures of the professors in MIT or Stanford. So it became very easy the way we leverage the power of internet. And then over last decade, innovation not just in the atom or not in the bits but also in the atom. This is a very famous phrase used by Peter Thiel, the one of the guy who invested in Facebook. It is his speech that now that we have done so much of innovation on the digital realm, why not bring those innovations from digital to the real world, making things that we can touch and feel. Basically, he was talking about the hardware innovation. So now you see in education, you see a lot of schools and teachers implementing real life programs to teach what they have taught in classroom, that the theoretical aspect of science through hands on learning experiments. So now we are in that phase. And when it comes to STEM education, once again, STEM is basically science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Uh, in very psychological sense, STEM are those subjects which are considered more to be used by the right brain, but in my opinion it's both left and right brain that are being used. Basically the domain that uses analytical skill, lot of logic and reasoning, that part of the brain is used when we use STEM. Another way of distinguishing STEM and non-STEM from a neuropsychological perspective is the learning curve. If you want to know, you can ask me in the Q&A session. I will be happy to explain more what I mean by the steep learning curve. But basically, the STEM education cannot be directly implemented through brick and mortar system of school education. And European Union last year published a very extensive 40-page report on this, and these are some of the points that explains why it is difficult to implement integrated STEM program in school. First thing, that the major curriculum, they are not tightly compatible with the STEM subject, and also the assessment that is done in school. Through the assessment process, we cannot really test the competence of a child. Basically, when we talk about children spend most of their times in homes rather than in school. In school they spend like 6 to 8 hours 5 days a week. So on a weekly basis, children spend more times with their parents and friends. So here there is just suggestion that if somebody, a parent, want to encourage his or her child into STEM education, parents have to actively get involved in it. And then we see the use case in a super diverse nation like America, where there are lot of cultures, lot of people coming from different places. I think 10 years ago, Barack Obama, he I think gave a very controversial statement, because it was like he used to go to the parents teacher meeting of his children. So it was like, see, I am the president of this country, and I am attending the parents teacher meeting. So parents should get involved with their children's education more. And especially this is true, especially when it comes to STEM education. For example, if your child wants to be an astronaut, so the school can hardly take the child to a boot camp, give them a NASA T-shirt, but it's the parents' responsibility to go beyond a NASA T-shirt and spend more time, buy some things, so that he's more encouraged to study some things beyond school curriculum. And that is the thing that encouraged lot of private individuals to come up with solution that can fill that gap. So what we see was the gold rush in this STEM education field. So for example, Kiwi Code, which is from United States, a very famous company which builds hands-on experiment kit that helps children learn STEM education. So most of these companies are targeted to parents. Now they are being targeted to schools and universities as well. B2B market is also very flourishing. So here you see some examples of French companies which are working on this space, but most of these companies are constrained to robotics and coding. So now the next paradigm shift will be to go from coding to other aspects of STEM, like the entire spectrum of science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Like for example, there are not many learning kits available to teach mathematics. And I think in France, this has been an issue, that there are not many mathematics teachers available in school. This has been discussed in the public domain by public stakeholders like politicians, city councillors. So yeah, this is the right time to invest in these kind of projects. This is the peak of the gold rush of STEM ed startups. But before I conclude, I just want to give a word of caution to parents who buy such kind of things. As we are moving into the next paradigm shift, we need to make sure that these kits that we are developing, it is scam free. What I mean by scam free is that I come from India, and many years ago there was this big scam, like almost 4 or 5 years ago, by a company called Whitehead Junior. So they claim to teach very young children, like the children of age group of 5 or 6, uh, very high level coding and programming. In fact, they used to call parents and tell parents that yes, we can teach you, teach your child how to make smartphone application. The package, people who work in Google as a software developer, their package is $1,000 per year, and parents used to go send their kids. And then it was found that it's very difficult, because we know that very young children, they just like to run, climb trees, scratch, pull each other's hair. They don't want to learn about the compiler, how the compiler in a programming language works. Even in France, I know a parent who was telling me that she sent her 9-year-old son where they learn how to make video games. So I asked that, like, what exactly they are learning. They are learning a coding. They said no. She told me that she doesn't know what he's learning. She just know overall that the child is learning how to make video game. Now, if somebody who is here from the gaming industry, they know that very high quality games sometimes require 2 years of making. It requires art, it requires coding, it requires rendering, it requires concepts of mathematics and physics. Of course, a 9-year-old child cannot learn how to produce games. Like, there are some Nintendo system where they do a drag and drop and create the Super Mario game. So this is a word of caution that we should we should avoid scams. So the kits that we are making, it has to be collaborative. This is the next paradigm shift that we are trying to achieve through our project. It has to be hybrid. So what Peter Thiel said, innovation not just in the bits but also in the atom. So we are supposed to leverage the power of internet, and also to inculcate hands-on learning experiment, so that we can leverage both the technology in our learning kit. And that is something that I am involved in my personal project in Lil'Genie. And the second thing, most of the edtech companies are today in the domain of research, because, as I said, that in order to engage with kid, we need to implement the play component into it. So it requires high amount of research. And also there is a paradigm shift from STEM to STEAM. So the A in STEAM is basically art. So not just the STEAM, but to use the both right hand side, right brain and the left brain, include the art along with the STEM subject. The kids had to be inculcated in the entire learning process of the kids. So thank you very much. You can connect with me, and also I have recently launched my GoFundMe campaign. Please go and support my project. Thank you very much. I'm open to your questions now. Thank you.